Avram Yosef, how you doing?
Hi, Rebbe. I'm just setting it up. I am going to mute myself and take off my screen. And the shir should start any minute.
Okay, great.
Hi, Rebbe.
Ready? Okay. What's doing?
Okay, Rebbe, you're all set and good to go. David Margulies has joined the group. I'm going to make him a co-host so that he can manage in case anybody needs. And then I'm going to post again that it's starting now.
Okay, great. David, Shalom Aleichem. Oh, a co-host. That's pretty chashuv.
I'm a devoted follower, so I got promoted.
You're a holy Jew. A holy Jew.
With Hashem's help. Oof. What are we going to be discussing today? Let's give us a little teaser.
So first, I would like to make one remark, tell you one story with regards to the, the discussion that we had on Sunday night. A beautiful, beautiful story that I heard. Just to get things in perspective. Then we're going to be discussing in Parsha Shlach, the Meraglim, the spies who went and got us into terrible trouble. And we're going to be discussing Mitzvah Shem, the mitzvah of Hafroshas Challah. So you should get yourself a nice girlfriend or a kala and a wife who's going to take challah. And we're going to be speaking about maybe if we get to it, I'm not sure. Maybe we will open up a good bottle of wine and we will together learn how to drink wine if we have time. Mitzvah Shem. I have a very good bottle of wine here with me, and if we get a chance towards the end, so I hope maybe we'll try to open up a bottle of wine and we'll try to connect that also to the Meraglim and to the Hafroshas Challah. Okay. Now, first of all, I'd like to just tell you a story. At the end of the discussion that we had Sunday night about becoming active in Black Lives Matter or the abuse of persecution of the African Americans. So I felt that what we should try to do is we should try, every single one of us, to make a Kiddush Hashem in our lives. And I think we have many opportunities to do it. I want to tell you, I saw a beautiful story. I saw this story 3 times. I read it once, I saw it twice, but it's a beautiful, beautiful story. There was a rabbi who lived in Canada. And he was an Orthodox rabbi, and he needed to build a new shul. So he needed a mortgage from the bank. So he went into the Royal Bank of Canada, and he applied for a loan for $500,000 to build an Orthodox shul. When he gets into the bank, he goes to the loan officer. He sits down with him. He tells him, "Yeah, I'd like to, I'm a rabbi of a shul, and I would like to build a shul. We've been building a synagogue, and I'd like to apply for a $500,000 loan." The guy goes, "The synagogue, $500,000 loan? Whoa, that's pretty steep." He says, "Look, I can't authorize that, but you're welcome to speak to the manager." And he takes him into the manager's office, a very plush, fancy office. The manager is sitting there. The rabbi, this guy by the name of Rabbi Green, sits down, and the manager says, "What can I do for you, sir?" He says, I'd like a mortgage for $500,000 to build a synagogue. The manager looks at him and he goes, "Wow, $500,000. What kind of a synagogue are you planning on building?" So this was in the late 1950s. In the late 1950s, Orthodoxy was not very, very popular. It was from the three strands of Judaism. It was probably the weakest, certainly the poorest, and probably the weakest with the least number of members. It was Reform, Conservative, Orthodox. It's in the late 1950s. So Rabbi Green is like, if I tell him I'm Orthodox, it'll probably be pretty bad.
It's not upstairs, so I guess they're watching. They keep asking them to stop walking. They keep going.
So he tells the guy, it's a Jewish synagogue. The manager goes, "I know it's Jewish, but what branch of Judaism?" He says, "Well, it's Orthodox." So the guy says, "If it's Orthodox, I'm going to give you the loan." The rabbi is blown away. He doesn't understand. And he says, "Thank you very much. But why did you ask me what branch of Judaism was the synagogue affiliated with?" So he says, "I'll tell you. I lived in a small town by the name of Timmins, Ontario." He says, "When I was a young boy, his father passed away, and they were 6 children. He had 5 siblings. And he said, my mother was a widow, we were orphans, and we really didn't have any money. We had a very, very small income. And we went to the general store in the town, and we went around, my mom went around picking out the items that she needed, and she was very careful because we didn't really have, what to pay with it for. And she picked out, one of these and one of those, and she went up to the checkout to pay. And the clerk at the checkout was about to check her out, and then the owner of the store walks over, and he asked the clerk, "Could you please, go to the side? I'd like to speak to this lady." And he tells her, "Ma'am, I know who you are, and I heard about your husband. I heard that he passed away, and I'm very sorry to hear that. And I just want you to know, whatever you need for you and your family, you just come into the store, and it's no charge. Until you get yourself established again, you don't have to worry about it. Please take anything." And that bank manager said to this Rabbi Green that we made it because of that bank manager. And that bank manager was an Orthodox Jew. And I promised myself that sometime during my life, I would find an Orthodox Jew, and somehow I would try to repay him for what he did for my family. So he said, when you told me that you were building an Orthodox shul, I said right away, you're going to get the loan and build the Orthodox shul. Rabbi Zai, that is a Kiddush Hashem. That is a way that we can have an impact on people, and we can make people better. That Yid, who was Mekadesh Shem Shamayim, tremendous Kiddush Hashem what he did. It was a goy. He didn't know them anything. But he felt for another human being, and he helped them. And I'm sure the good that came from that bank manager and his mother and his brothers and sisters, that whole family, the way they looked at a Yid from Jew is totally different. That is what we have to do. We have to ask ourselves when we walk around and we deal with people, when we go into a store, when we meet someone, when we have business dealings, whatever it is, Do we make that kind of a Kiddush Hashem? Do people walk away afterwards seeing us and going, wow, those people are different. Those people, they're special people. That is our obligation. I don't believe our obligation is marching on the streets. Our obligation is every day to try to go get up in the morning and to be Mekadesh Shem Shamayim. Okay, that had nothing to do with the Sikha, but I think it's an extremely important thing. I think it's a tremendous challenge for every single one of us to try to answer that question. Do we act like that? Do we give an impression like that? This week's Parsha, gentlemen, is Parsha Shlach. For you, not for me. For me, it's Kairach. But for you guys, it's Shlach, and therefore we're going to speak about Parsha Shlach. Parsha Shlach is the notorious Parsha where Klal Yisrael doesn't fully trust HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells them, I'm taking you into a beautiful land, Eretz Yisrael and Eretz Zohas Chalav Utavash, a land of milk and honey. But B'nai Yisrael, they want to send spies. They want to check it out. They want to see for themselves. We believe you, God, but we just want to make sure 100%. So they go to Moshe and they tell Moshe they want to send spies. And Moshe Rabbeinu picks out Anoshim Tzadikim. They were very chashuv people, certainly before they went on their mission. There are Anoshim Chashuvim. But they had certain negiyas and they didn't really want to go into Eretz Yisrael for reasons that they thought were very L'Shem Shamayim reasons. They felt that Bnei Yisrael were living in the Midbar. L'Mala Miderech HaTeva was such a connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so close and so tight. And they felt when they go to Eretz Yisrael, they're going to have to live a more natural way. They have to work, they have to plant the fields. And they felt that would take them to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And they didn't think, but they also personal negiyas, but they had a negiyah. They went into Eretz Yisrael, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu did unbelievable things for them. He took care of them so well. They were spies. They could have been arrested. They could have been killed for spying. And they come, wherever they come, there are funerals. People are dying. They're dying left and right. Funerals all the time. And everybody's so busy going to Levias. It's an unbelievable chesed that HaKadosh Baruch Hu did. He was killing them in order so they should be busy burying their dead. And that way, the Meraglim would be safe and be able to come back to Eretz Yisrael. They not only that, they go around and they see the fruits, mind-boggling, the size of the fruits that were in Eretz Yisrael. Unbelievable, abnormal fruits. Such a fruitful land. They come back afterwards. What do? They say that country, it's a dangerous place, terrible place. Everybody's dying. Funerals, only funerals. Everybody's dying. It's an Eretz Oicheles Yoshmeho. It's a land that devours, that eats up the inhabitants. Terrible land. And then they bring out this fruit. And instead of seeing the beauty and the bracha of HaKadosh Baruch Hu and these beautiful fruits, they go, look at these fruits. Look at this thing. It's crazy. Look at these grapes. They're enormous. It's a crazy country. These people are giants, and there's no way we can conquer such a country. Kadosh Baruch Hu showed them bracha, and what did they see? They only saw bad stuff. That was the Meraglim. Strange thing, right after the Parshas of Meraglim, there's a very interesting Parsha in the Torah. It's the Parsha of the Chiyuv to give challah. When you bake bread, you have to take off challah from that bread, and you give that challah to the kohen. The Sforno says, why all of a sudden after the Cheder Meraglim are they commanded to give challah, the mitzvah of hafrashas challah? The Sforno says, Achrei Chet HaMeraglim hitzrich gam hachallah. He says after the Cheder Meraglim, the Jews needed this mitzvah of challah. Leman yuyu ru'uyim shetochu bracha b'bateim. In order so bracha could come on their homes, that their homes could be blessed. Their homes couldn't be blessed without this mitzvah of challah. Now, gentlemen, what in the world does the mitzvah of taking challah have to do with the Cheder Meraglim, right? And it's the tikkun for the Cheder Meraglim. There'll be no more bracha in the house. We have to have a mitzvah of challah. Crazy mitzvah. What has it got to do with Cheder Meraglim? Second of all, gentlemen, it says, very fascinating, Medrash Tanchuma. The Medrash Tanchuma in Parshas Noach says that there are 3 mitzvahs. We say it in the Mishnah, in Bameh Madlikin on Shabbos every day, that there are 3 mitzvahs that because of them, women can die. Chas v'shalom, it's a sakon. The 3 mitzvahs are Nida, Chala, and Hadlokas Haner. They have to be makbid on Taras HaMishpacha, they have to be makbid on Hafroshas Chala, and they have to be makbid also on the Hadlokas Neres, right? Now, the Medrash explains, what does Hafroshas Chala have to do with, right? Why should women have to take Chala? So the Medrash says, Omar HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Adam Harishon, Chilas Briyoso Hoya, V'nitztav al Eitz Hadas, and he was commanded not to eat the Eitz Hadas. And it says by Chava, Vatera Ha'isha, Vatiten Gam Le'isha Iman. She ate from the Eitz Hadas, and she gave also to her husband to eat. Vayochel, the Garma Loi Misa, and she caused death to come upon him. Adam Harishon would have never died. But once he was chayta by eating the Eitz Hadas, so then she was going to death. V'shafcha es damo, and she spilt his blood. So now the Gemara says, mitzvah chala. Yeah? Why does she have to do mitzvah chala? Because she was mitameh, the chala of the olam. Kadosh Baruch Hu took dirt with water, and he mixed it together like the woman mixes chala together, like she takes dough. She takes flour and water and makes a dough out of it. Kadosh Baruch Hu likewise took water, took dirt, made a dough out of it, and he created Adam mina ofra, mina adama. It was created. So therefore, the woman has to be mafresh chala, to be mitaking the chait that she gave to Adam Harishon to eat from the Eitz Hadas. So gentlemen, it says here why she has to take chala. It's got nothing to do with chait hameraglim. It has to do with the chait of Adam Harishon. She gave him from the Eitz Hadas. So what in the world is this Sforno talking about? Crazy. Now, another crazy thing, there's a beautiful sefer, Yalkut HaReuveni. The Yalkut HaReuveni quotes a Yerushalmi. Yerushalmi says, when the Meraglim came back to the camp, to the Machaneh of Klal Yisrael, Yerushalmi says they found the Bnei Yisrael learning the halachas of Chala, Habrashas Chala. Crazy. Now the mitzvah of Chala, Minatayri, you only chayiv in Eretz Yisrael. In Chutz La'aretz, when you take Chala, you're chayiv, but it's only midrabanan. But Minatayri, you only chayiv in Eretz Yisrael. They come back, they see everybody learning the halachas of Chala, the Meraglim see, and they go to them, what are you learning halachas of Chala for? You're never going to get into Eretz Yisrael. You're not going into Eretz Yisrael. You're never going to have to be mafresh Chala. What? Crazy. We see that the mitzvah of Chala is unbelievably related to the Chet HaMeraglim. What does it got to do with the Chet HaMeraglim? Now, when I learned the Parsha, when I went over the Parsha, and I did the Shnai Mirkum Targum, which I try to do every week, which is a good thing for all you guys to do, it's the first time it hit me. I'm an old man, but the first time it hit me. And I learned, about Chala. I'm reading the Psukim of Chala, I do the Rashis on Chala, and then I go, Chala is a weird mitzvah. There's no other mitzvah like Chala. There's a law. There's double taxation is against the law. You cannot be taxed twice on the same thing. If you live, or you're an American, and you live in Israel, and you have to file American taxes, so if you're paying taxes on income in Israel, the United States is not going to tax you on the same income that you had in Israel. It's called, you can't get taxed twice on the same thing. Two countries can't hit you. They have to work it out between them, who's going to get what, but you cannot be taxed double. That's not right. And everybody agrees with that. Chala is double taxation. When you have wheat, you meiser that wheat. You take meiser and you give to the kohen, right? You give to the Levi, but you give a chelak of it to the kohen. The only thing, there's no other food. When you take that wheat and you make it into flour, and then you make bread out of it, and you're about to take a bite, and then no, take off challah. You go, what do you mean take off challah? I gave meiser to the kohen. No. Challah, you're going to give again. you're going to give again to the kohen challah. There's no other thing. There's no other food that you have to do that. You grow grapes and you make wine. There's no halacha. If you master the grapes, you're finished. You don't have to, when you make wine, give some more to the kohen. Only by challah. Why in the world is it? Well, what's going on here? What kind of mitzvah is this? The Sefer HaChinuch says, why dafka challah? So the Sefer HaChinuch helps us a little bit, but not totally. The Sefer HaChinuch tells us that being that challah is taken from bread, and bread is what man lives on. I mean, Baruch Hashem, today we're not, we have a lot of meat and tremendous blessings from Kodesh Baruch. We have all kinds of food, so we don't have so much bread. But back in the day, bread was what kept people alive. They had bread, some olive oil in the camps, right? A person got a piece of bread and maybe a little bit of soup, but what sustained them, what kept them alive, the chiyus of a person is from bread. So the Sefer HaChinuch says, therefore, the bread that is the chiyus is what sustains the person, what gives him life and keeps him alive. So therefore that, we give again to the kohen. In order to be makadosh the bread, that it should be, we should enjoy it, and the kohen should also enjoy it. Very interesting. But still, I mean, it's double taxation. Why are we taxing it again? So Rabbi Isa, I want you to understand something. I saw there's a Sefer Meshech Chochmah, is the Or Sameach. The Or Sameach says a beautiful pshat. The Or Sameach says, it says in the pasuk that you should give challah just like you give truma from your threshing floor. You have to give challah. What does it mean? Just like you give truma. The Meshech Chochmah says a beautiful, beautiful idea. The Meshech Chochmah says when a person owns a field, and Baruch Hashem it rains, and his grain grows, and he has a good harvest. He takes his harvest, he thanks HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and he, with a leiv sameach, with a happy heart, he's very happy. He gives to the kohen. He wants to support the kohen. HaKadosh Baruch Hu has blessed him, and he takes that blessing, and of course he gives like Meiser. He says, challah is not like that. Challah, a person is chayav to give, even if he's a poor person. Challah is after you already gave Meiser. You don't even have a field. You don't own a field. The guy has no money. A lady, she could be an almana with 11 children. She goes to the store. She borrows money. She buys a bag of flour. She brings it home to her house to feed her children. She bakes a challah. No, don't eat it. Take challah. He says that's a hard mitzvah. That's not like giving truma. Truma, okay, you had a successful business. You give, you make money. Kodesh Baruch Hu gave you blessing. But here, it's money that I'm taking on my own money, buying the wheat, buying the flour, making challah. You're making even a person who has nothing. Give challah. But he says you have to do it. Leiv sameach. You have to do it happy. You know why? Because from challah we learn a tremendous thing. We think that in certain situations, I don't have anything. My situation is so bad. I don't know how Kodesh Baruch Hu could do this to me. A person has to realize that whatever situation he's in, a Kodesh Baruch Hu is taking care of him, Kodesh Baruch Hu loves him, and a Kodesh Baruch Hu is giving him exactly what he needs. Exactly what he needs. How do you do that? A person who doesn't have, I take off and I want to give. I have enough to give. I don't feel like I don't have. Chas v'shalom. Kodesh Baruch Hu, I had some money. I was able to buy some flour. I can make some bread. Baruch Hashem, I'm happy with what I have. And I'm going to give some of that to the kohen to support the kohen that he can do the avodah of the Beis Hamikdash. B'leiv sameach. No matter what happens, what situation I'm in, Baruch Hashem, I'm happy. That's the mitzvah of challah. To always see that I'm a wealthy man. Baruch Hashem. I have a Kodesh Baruch Hu is taking care of me. That's what challah teaches us. Rabbi Yisai, the chait of the Meraglim, you know what it was? They had an ayin ra. They saw blessings, and instead of thanking a Kodesh Baruch Hu for those blessings, they saw bad in them. It was a beautiful situation. A Kodesh Baruch Hu was taking care of them. A Kodesh Baruch Hu was killing the Knanim. They're having funerals all day. They're not catching you. And what do you see? Eretz Ochelis Yeshveh, what a terrible place. Beautiful fruits, unbelievable. Bracha, Shepa and Bracha. Look at these fruits. Oh, this is a crazy country. Look at these giants we're never going to be able to capture. The Meraglim saw good, and they thought it was bad. Chala, you can see, you can be in a difficult situation, but we always see it as good. Chala is the tikkun for the Cheder Meraglim. Oh, it says in the Medrash Tanchuma that the reason why we bring challah is that because of the chait that Chava gave him to eat from the Eitz Hadas, eating from the Eitz Hadas. It's the same attitude. Adam Arishon and Chava are in Gan Eden. Mikol Eitzei Hagan Teichlu. You can eat from everything. Look at this, unbelievable. Everything. Not the Eitz Hadas. What does Chava need? She has a whole beautiful garden with everything. I need that Eitz Hadas. If I don't get that Eitz Hadas, I need that Eitz Hadas. She lets the Nochash mislead her. She misleads Adam. Because why? Because she didn't have an ayin tova. Because she didn't see the good. All the good that she had, no. I need that one thing that I don't have. It's the same, Rabbi said, it's the same exact chait. The Medrash is not telling us a different chait. The chait Eitz Hadas. The chait of Eitz Hadas was that you didn't see the blessing that you had. The chait of the Meraglim was, there was an unbelievable blessing from a Kadosh Baruch Hu. He's giving you a beautiful, beautiful land. He's giving you a land where you're going to go in and you're going to work it and you're going to nevuah and ruach hakodesh and you're going to build a base of mikdash and you have such beautiful fruits. It's gorgeous. And what do you see? The Meraglim, they only saw the bad. It's the same exact chait. And chala is a person who doesn't have. And still, Baruch Hashem, whatever HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave me, we're happy with. It's crazy. But if we're like that, you should know, and I see there are people in Yerushalayim, there are people in Eretz Yisrael who have nothing, and they're unbelievably happy people. I don't know if you guys remember Rabbi Price, Tzaddik. The guy was such a Bal Yisurim. He didn't have money, he had nothing, but he had everything. He had everything. Because he lived with the Kadosh Baruch Hu. He realized everything that Kadosh Baruch Hu gave him was Gevaldik Bracha. And he was happy. He was machazik so many guys in the bed. You know, we come in and we think we got it tough. He could barely walk, hard problem. Zecher Tzadik v'Kadosh L'Bracha. But he was unbelievably happy because he lived with the Kadosh Baruch Hu. He had an attitude of whatever happened. Gam Zula Taiva. Remember, Gam Zula Taiva. Baruch Hashem. Kadosh Baruch Hu loves me. Gam Zula Taiva. When we get up in the morning and we say the Birkas HaShachar, and we thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu for opening our eyes, that we can stand on the ground, right? Malbi Sharumim. We have so much. We just have to appreciate what we have and not to be Chas v'Shalom like the Meraglim. Now, Rabbi say it's a little bit late, but I want to tell you something. I'm going to get a bottle of wine. Let me find my bottle of wine. Where did I put my bottle of wine? Oh. Here we go, gentlemen. This bottle of wine is an excellent bottle of wine. It's called Isaac's Ram. It's a Cabernet Sauvignon. How do you drink a bottle of wine? So now you can pop it open, put it into, grab a glass or a plastic cup, paper cup, glug, 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 glug. And you can drink half a bottle, you can get drunk. But that's not the way to drink a bottle of wine. Before you drink a bottle of wine, you need a bottle of wine. You need a nice opener to open it. And you also need a nice glass to drink it in. Something like this, where you can open the wine, and then you smell it. And you take in how, very good. And even before you open it, you look at the back of the bottle of the wine. And you read a little bit about the wine. Because you have to know what you're drinking, because you'll enjoy it much more. So this bottle is it's a bit strong. It's 14.5% alcohol. The grapes for this oak barrel aged 18 months. That's good. This Cabernet Sauvignon matured at a leisurely pace while basking in the warm sun of the Judean mountains. Har Yehuda, where we are right now. This is my neighbor. This bottle was my neighbor, the grapes. And being gently caressed by the cool maritime breezes from Israel's Mediterranean coastal plain. Being caressed by the sun, being cooled by the nice breezes from the Mediterranean. This ideal climate allows the fruit to reach its full potential. Ripe raspberries with hints of black pepper and aromatic spices. It's best served with grilled meats. You have to know what to drink it with. And colorful ethnic cuisines. Best to open and decant at least an hour prior to drinking and serve at room temperature. Then you take the bottle and you pour it into your glass. And a little bit. And you stop and you swirl your glass with the wine. Because you want to aerate it to get the air out, so to get rid of the acidity. And then you smell those raspberries. Delicious, beautiful. And then you look at the color. Beautiful, beautiful red. And you look at that wine and you know where it's coming from. Judean hills, Mediterranean, ocean breeze. You have a sense of the taste. And then you stop. You say a bracha. Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam borei pri hagofen. You swirl it around on your tongue. You get the taste. And then you really enjoy the wine. Now, gentlemen, what's the difference between drinking wine like that and drinking wine like I said in the beginning, in a plastic cup or a paper cup? Gulp it down. Don't waste your time reading anything. Get to work, hit the bottle, knock it out. What's the difference? You know what the difference is? The difference is if you stop and learn about the wine and appreciate the wine, you look at the wine, you smell the wine, you prepare yourself to drink the wine and to feel and to taste what the wine has to give. So then you enjoy that wine much, much more. My boy Sai, when we say a bracha, every bracha that we say, that is what we're supposed to be doing. We can just take a banana, peel it up, or we can stop and look at that banana in a peel, that yellow, beautiful peel that used to be green, that the Kadosh Baruch Hu put on there to protect that banana, take care of it. And he made it change color. Crazy. Changes color. The thing was green. And now it's yellow. Why does it change its color? Because the Kadosh Baruch Hu wants us to eat it when it's ripe and perfect. It makes it a little softer. It's not hard anymore. Because he wants us to get it when it's absolutely perfect. And we see, look at this banana Kadosh Baruch Hu created for me. And this banana is a beautiful banana. Kadosh Baruch Hu, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm thinking about what I'm eating. And then you say a bracha and you think about what you're saying. And you take a bite of that banana, it's a different banana. Life is different like that. If we look at the things and we appreciate what a Kadosh Baruch Hu gives us and we say a bracha before we do it, we eat it or we partake from it. So then we enjoy life so much more. Rabbi Sai, we should not be like the Moroccan. We should be able to open our eyes and see the blessings, even when you have to look hard to see the blessings. And Mirz Hashem, we should always have an Ayin Tova, and we should always be Mavarich on everything that Kadosh Baruch Hu gives us. And we should do like the mitzvah of Challah. Even when we don't have, we still take and we share with other people, and we realize that we're still blessed. Rabbi said, if we do that, we will be very, very happy people. Shkoyach, gentlemen. Thank you.
Beautiful, Rebbe. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. Oh,
I like
wow.
the wine
See, like-
tutorial.
What is that?
I like the wine tutorial.
Thank you. Thank you. I was going to open the bottle and drink it, but I forgot to bring a knife to cut the, the aluminum. Maybe next time we'll drink some wine together.
Beautiful shit.
Okay. Very good. You guys give me chizik, B'lei and Haram. Baruch Hashem.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
Rabbi Falk. I loved it. I loved
Thank you very, very much.
I was honored to be the co-host. Thank you.
Thank you very much, David. Tell me, was this phone is a new phone? Was it my voice and the video were in sync or not?
Very clear.
It was clear. Very good. Baruch Hashem. Fantastic. Beseder. Okay, we're going to go Daven Mariv. Okay, and we'll be in touch. Mitzvah Shem. I'll see you guys on I think next Wednesday.
Have a great
Okay.
night.
Very
Take
good.
care.
Have a great job. Take care. Bye-bye.